Welcome back, guys, to this segment. In this segment, we'll be basically talking about how to leverage that text that we have got from speech to text conversion into a form of model that could be deployed in Azure Machine Learning Studio environment so that we could be doing something for our business use case. Now, for that, first of all, I would like to recommend you to open two web pages side by side that would be making your life a bit easier when you go through tutorial. So the first one is in one web page, just open this link studio.azureml.net, and in another one just open portalazure.com. So once you're open with this, go back to this machine learning studio environment. We've already talked about Azure subscription and how to create one and log into your subscription in previous segments, so I won't be talking about that right now over here. You'll simply go into My Experiments and an experiments web page would open up for you. This could take a bit of time and my machine is a bit slow, so definitely this would take time. Now once this experiment is loaded, we could start. Of course, I'll go for not now. I'm not interested in any tour right now. So you'll see this web page saying Experiments Machine Learning Studio Classic open up for you. Click on a blank experiment. We'll be creating a new fresh experiment for ourselves over here. Now before going into very deep, I'll be talking about, so in any model, what you do, you basically import your data set, then you run some script and you export data. That's the basic overview of any model. So we'll be doing that basic modules over here. So first one is just go to data input and output because we need to import data. Click the import data module and drag it over here. It's the beauty of machine learning studio environment that it's so easy. You just need to drag and drop. You don't need to build something from scratch, and that's the best thing about cloud. I'll be walking through each and every parameters of every module afterwards, so don't panic right now, just bear with me. After import data, we need to run some script, right? So what we'll be doing is we'll go into Python language modules. Just bring this module over here, execute Python script. Again, don't worry about the script over here. I'll be walking you through that as well. Now, so we have got our import data, we have got our execute Python script. Just shift this a little bit over here. One thing again that I would recommend you, please open that up. We've provided you with a folder that has all the required components for this tutorial. So I have got that open. You'll see in that there's a vade.zip folder. This is the one for our tutorial. So we'll be uploading this within my datasets. Just bear with me, follow each and every step. You'll see a story flowing so soon. Now we'll go into this datasets tab over here. You'll click new. We'll click this from local file, choose file, and we have chosen our vade.zip folder. Click on this tick. You'll see a green line running over saying uploading a new dataset vade.zip. This could take a bit of time if the zip folder would have been a bit heavy, but it's not that much, so I guess this shouldn't take long. Let's wait for a few moments. Yeah, so it's got done. Congratulations, it has got uploaded. You'll see over here it's a vade.zip folder. You could see over there. Now we'll go back to our experiments tab because we have uploaded our dataset. This is not actual dataset, so bear with me. We'll see the actual dataset. Go back into this experiment that we have created. We've just created, in fact. Now just scroll towards left, towards a little bit up to see the complete vision. Okay, now we need to import a CSV file over here, right? And that is one of the reasons I made you open this Portal Azure page in the first place itself. So within the Portal Azure, you just need to click here, storage account. Again, in previous segments, we've already covered how to create a storage account, how to create a container, and how to upload a CSV file. So I won't be talking about that things over detail in here, but I would be walking through each and every location of my account, my container, and file. So just type in storage account over here. Just click in storage accounts. A page will open up over here which says storage accounts, and I've already created a storage account with the name of Stage Azure. You could give some other name as well, that's totally dependent on you. Click in Stage Azure. Now what you need to do next is just scroll down a little bit. You'll see under blob service there's a thing called container, and you need to click in over here. After clicking containers, you need to go into Container Azure. That's the container name. Of course, you could rename it as per your convenience, whatever you wish. Now here's the CSV file where I would be uploading. What you need to do is just click on upload, select a file. Within the folder that we have provided with you with our tutorial, you could see there's a reviews.csv file, and that's what exactly needs to be uploaded over here. Just click in upload. My CSV file is really small, so it got uploaded very quickly. If the file is large, this would take a time. Now you see reviews.csv file over here. So congratulations, your dataset has actually been uploaded in Azure Blob Storage, from where Machine Learning Studio would be accessing it. Now, if you see this Python script, it has got this link for dataset, and you see this for script bundle zip. Just pour in your vadate.zip folder over here. Go into save datasets. Under my datasets, you'll see vadate.zip because we've already imported our dataset under datasets tab before. So just drag and drop. You need to join this. You need to join this. Now you see this is the overview of our model. Now I'll talk in detail over each and every module. We'll begin with import data. So we've got all our requisites. Now we'll be filling in the details. Within import data, you'll see there's a first option called data source. That's Azure Blob Storage. We have other options as well, like web URL via HTTP. You can access it some with the URL as well. We have got a Hive query option as well. There's one popular option of Azure SQL database. Companies do connect their SQL databases with ML Studio to access data. In our tutorial, we would be covering the option of Azure Blob Storage. Next option is authentication type. You'll have got two options over here. One is public or SaaS, and the other one is storage account. Public or SaaS you can use if you are accessing it via some SaaS dataset or a public URL. That's not with our case. So we'll be using storage account because we have created some container under our storage account in Blob Storage. Next option is account name. If you remember, and I can show you here as well, Storage Azure was our account name. I mean Stage Azure. So we'll be typing in over here Stage Azure, and that's the account name. Next option is account key. If you go back to this portal page and you click Stage Azure over here, so every account has got an access key being allotted by the Microsoft Azure. just clicking over here access keys, you'll see there's an option called key 1. Just copy and paste. It's that simple. So I've pasted my account key over here. Now next option is path to container or path to blob. It's very easy. Just type in your container name. Container Azure was mine. Type in your container name if you would have named it differently. Put a / and your CSV file name. Mine was reviews.csv. Please check in over here again. Don't type it incorrectly, otherwise you'll get an error. Next option is blob file format. You could choose CSV as well, but I would encourage you to go with CSV with encoding, because CSV at times throws error. So go with CSV with encoding. Then you've got next option is comma. That's perfect. Unicode UTF-8. That's good. Please don't forget to check file has header row, because your file, I'm sure, probably would be having some column name, so we need to check this. So you see, we have completed all the options of import data module and we're good to go with the import. Now next is vade.zip. We don't need to do anything here. We've just simply uploaded that zip folder over here. Next option is execute Python script. This is a bit interesting. So our problem is that we would be, basically our problem case is that we would be allotting sentiments to our text. Here we would be using Vade lexicon approach. The reason we are using Vade lexicon approach over here is that you could definitely build a model from NLP model from scratch as well, but we are actually not a customer care industry, so we don't have a training data set, and that's why we couldn't annotate our data set before. So the beauty of Vade is that you don't need any training data set actually. On basis of Vade lexicon library, it automatically allots sentiment to each and every text, and that's the beauty that we would be leveraging over here. So that's the reason why we are using Vade lexicon approach. Now I'll walk you through a bit of code. Don't panic, code is not that tough. Just open up this script. Now if you go through the folder, you'll see there is the text document saying Vade code for MS Studio. Just open that up. So I'll copy and I'll paste it over here. Now this uses a function of sentiment intensity analyzer. In the vade.zip folder, you have already got a Python script. If you go back to this zip folder, you must be seeing over there. Within this folder, it's a Python script calling Vade sentiment. So I've already got a function built in, and this Python script would be calling that function from there. That Python script also has some other functions, like if you go, so this has got few functions you'll see, which could be used for other functions, and like if you want to strengthen the accuracy score of your model, you could use many functions are there over here. But basically our Python script calls this function of sentiment analyzer, and then it allots sentiment like basically into three categories, I would say: positive, negative, and neutral. You'll see over here. And it also allots a sentiment score. So we've got a sentiment result, that's a positive, negative, or neutral, plus a sentiment score. Sentiment score basically gives you a degree to what extent that sentiment is positive or negative or neutral, and it will return, of course, a data set. So that's pretty much overview of this basic code. If you see here, I have put over here as reviews. So my CSV folder, my CSV file has the column name as reviews. If your CSV file has some different name, please type in that name over here to avoid any error. Once you have pasted this code over here, please don't forget to click this tick over here, otherwise the changes won't be saved. So I am done with this code as well. So now, just a quick recap. We have imported our data. So we imported our CSV file, that is reviews.csv from Azure Blob Storage. We have dragged and dropped vade.zip folder over here that gives you access to Python code, which helps you run this Python script, and this Python script is basically calling that function of the Python script that is already in vade.zip folder. Now we have got all our modules. Remember, my text was already clean, so if your text is not clean and if you want to do some analytics over there, we have got other options as well. I won't be going in deep, but I'm just telling you for your use. You'll see here pre-processed text, you could use that, but we'll avoid this over here. We'll not go in much detail, that's a bit not in our scope right now. So we have got all our modules. Now the step that is left is very basic, that's simply run. Just click run. This could take a bit of time. Of course, it would depend on your machine and on your data set. My data set is really small, so I'm assuming this won't take much of time. Let's see, it's running and it's running. So you see one green tick over here, that means import data has been run. This module successfully ran with no error issues. We are fortunate enough, I would say. Next is execute Python script, that's running and running. I hope we don't face any error issue. To be honest, I've already tried it before, so I think there would be no error. So you see, as I said, there would be no error. So I've got two green ticks, that shows that the modules have successfully run, and you see over here there would be finished running, which shows that the model that you have built over here in MS Studio has run successfully. Now in the output side, you'll see there's one option, this Python device dataset, and one is your result dataset. We'll be looking over here, that result dataset. Just right click over here. You can save it as dataset. In your dataset, it would automatically be saved as a particular file. Right now, we'll just visualize our results. So in my dataset, there were basically reviews for a DSLR camera, and I made my friends do this exercise for me. They just pretended to be talking to some customer care industry for complaining or appreciating the DSLR camera product. So in the first one, you see it has quite correctly labeled as positive and give it as a sentiment score of 85.19%. So now you have got sentiment score, you've got sentiment result. Now what to do next? It all depends on your business requirement. What I could recommend is that you could export this data set. You could like literally save it as and download in your local, or create a pipeline to import that data set into some visualization softwares like Alteryx and Tableau. Create some weekly dashboards and leverage your business use case. And of course, it depends on what business problem you're trying to achieve in your particular organization, and that all depends. This is pretty much for this segment. We would see you in next one. Thank you for watching.